As a software engineer, your brain is wired to solve problems. Your brain is wired to look for solutions. My name is Hashir Beg and I am a software engineer. I love building tech products. I love finding technical problems and looking for their solutions. And I love going deep into the code and seeing how some problem can be solved with the best technical practices possible. And I'm currently running a development firm. I have a team of engineers, designers, salespeople. We provide technical solutions to startups, SMEs, mostly in US, Australia, and some European countries. All of this with no formal business education. I just watch a bunch of YouTube videos, podcasts, shorts, LinkedIn, Reels. I just consume a bunch of content, and all of the knowledge that I have so far, the strategies that I have for the business, either coming from those YouTube videos or a few books I have read. And I won't say it's very hard. It's actually pretty easy to run a business, to start a business as an engineer. Because when you are starting out, you are actually relying on your own personal capabilities. If something bad happens, it's you. You can just jump in and fix that thing. If you want to build your product, you can just do it yourself. If some client needs help with some particular technical problem, you can provide that solution yourself. So it's really easy to start. You need business skills when you have to scale the business. And you learn a lot of things along the way as you go forward. Just make sure you are growing. Make sure you are growing from the revenue standpoint and you are growing from the team standpoint as well. Make sure every business move you make has some result and you learn from that result. As a software engineer, your brain is wired to solve problems. Your brain is wired to look for solutions. When I was starting out, I wanted to solve the key man problem. The first thing I wanted to do, I wanted to solve the key man problem. I was a solo founder. I did not have any co-founders with me. So I wanted to solve the problem that if I go somewhere for some vacation, for some leave, if I'm not available someday, the business should not stop. So I wanted to solve the key man problem as the first thing. One thing I knew from the very beginning was I wanted to work on business, not in business. The difference is, if you're working in business, then you are doing a lot of busy work. Busy work means I might be doing hands-on development on a lot of projects. I might be involved in management of a lot of projects firsthand. Even if I had to do some hands-on development, I would do it off hours. I would not do it in the daytime when I had to work on the business. In the early days when I was engaged on the projects by myself, I used to work on those projects after the office hours, late at night. During the daytime, I used to work on business, see how I can build the sales team, see how I can improve the flow of clients coming into the business. To solve the key man problem, in the early days, you have to be very, very transparent with your team. You have to make sure that every decision that you are taking, every step that you are taking, someone else in your team can take that as well. Someone else in your team can communicate with the clients as good as you do it yourself. You have to be more transparent from the cost standpoint, from the processes standpoint. If you just keep hiding everything from everyone, then it's really hard to solve that key man problem. It will always be you who have to close a deal. It will always be you who have to generate a sale or build a relationship with a client. So if you want to solve the key man problem, you have to first make sure you are very, very transparent and very, very open about your processes. And this was the first problem I solved when I was building RipeSeed. As a software engineer, you are heavily paid. Software engineers are right now in the luckiest era of their time. That software engineering is the highly paid occupation. So coming from a highly paid occupation to a highly risk side of things, which is business, is very hard. You have to come from a earning mindset to a spending mindset. You have to be a risk taker. So where on one place you were earning maybe thousands of dollars per month, on the other place you have to hire a lot of people. You have to hire people in the areas where you have no experience. You have to hire people in the field. Like let's say if you are an engineer, you might have to hire designers. You might have to hire HR and accounts and sales. These areas are something which you have no experience with. So this is where you invest a lot of what you have already earned in your previous jobs or maybe in your current business as well. So you have to change the mindset from someone who is earning a lot of money to someone who starts spending a lot of money in the hopes that they can make money from that spending. Now, no business in the world can run without the basic sales skills. And you cannot just outsource the sales. I mean, when I was first starting out, I asked some people, how should I do sales? How are you guys doing sales? And the answer I kept getting from people who have done something was, you can only make your team generate sales with the ways that you have generated sales yourself. So if you want to use Upwork, if you want to use email marketing, if you want to use networking, if you are not good at that yourself, it's really hard for you to make that work using some other team members. Unless, of course, you find someone who's very, very skilled. But as an early stage company, why would someone who's very, very skilled come to you for the job? It's really hard unless and until you have some personal relationships with them, or if they are your friends, right? So you have to focus on sales yourself. This is what I did. So in the early days, a lot of the clients, a lot of very big and very good clients we got in the early days were coming in because of my own communication with them. Were coming in because of my own proposals, my own dealings with them. You have to be good at it, and you have to keep experimenting. Because if you don't experiment, then the sales technique that was working for you before will ultimately stop working, or will be copied by so many people that it will be redundant. Now, if you're a software engineer and watching this video, then you might agree that software engineers like to call themselves as introvert. I mean, okay, you are an introvert, but is that a strength of yours? Probably not. It's fine. I mean, being an introvert is a personality trait. Now it's on you whether or not you accept that as a personality trait, or you want to improve that. Because as a business person, communication is the key. You have to communicate with customers. You have to communicate with the team. You have to sell the idea that you are running a good, authentic business to your team. You have to sell the idea that you are running a good, authentic business to your clients as well, right? So you have to be very, very good with your communication. If you cannot communicate what you can actually do, if you cannot communicate your capabilities, your accomplishments, your skills, how you can solve someone's problem, then it's going to be really hard for you to do any kind of sales. Because sales inherently is hated by almost everyone on the planet. If any salesperson comes to you, you're probably going to run away. Same is the case with clients. Same is the case with your prospect customers. So you don't have to be very much salesy. You have to be someone who people like to communicate with. So communication is the key. If you want to ever get into sales, and if you think you are an introvert, start becoming extrovert. I mean, there is no other way around it. As a business owner, you have to be willing to do a lot of things yourself. You have to be willing to do sales, marketing, new experiments, personal branding. I mean, how many of you who are software engineer know anything about marketing, know anything about demand generation or lead magnets? I mean, do you guys know anything about it at all? No, probably not. I didn't know about any of these things like a few months ago, and it's been 3 years that I am running the company. So you have to learn a lot of those things yourself. Only then you can find someone relevant enough who can help you scale that. Like these days, a lot of my focus is on marketing. I am running a bunch of marketing experiments, and a lot of them has worked out for me. And never in my life I am ever imagined that I would be interested in marketing or lead generation or lead magnets or demand generation. But right now, the way that my role requires me to do all of these things, I'm learning a lot of these things, and they are helping me out with the business. So if you are ever planning to jump into business as a software engineer, be open-minded. And you ultimately have to jump into all of these skills. If you want to learn these beforehand, start learning. But you cannot achieve anything if you just keep jumping from one course to the other. You have to just act. Okay? So with whatever knowledge you have, whatever limited knowledge you have, whatever motivation you have, just start. Once you start, you will start facing problems. I mean, we would have never gone into marketing or lead generation or building our lead magnets if we never faced any issues with sales. We faced a bunch of issues with sales. We faced a bunch of issues with branding. That is when we decided to go into different areas. We decided to build a brand identity. We decided to go into marketing, invest invest our revenue in building some lead magnets and building our public presence. That is why you are watching this video right now. So I hope that helps. My name is Hashir Beg. I am running a software development company from Pakistan, serving clients mostly from US, Australia, and some European countries. We build SaaS products, AI products, and I'm posting a lot of content on how to build AI products on my YouTube channel. So definitely check that out. If you have any suggestions of how we can improve the content, anything else that you want me to answer, as someone who is a software engineer, who's software engineer from background, who has no formal business education, and someone who has scaled the business to a team of 30 people at one point. Right now we are at a team of 24 people. So yeah, feel free to drop your comments, drop your suggestions, and we will try to address them in the future videos. Thank you.